Hi, this video is going to be about mock servers. What is a mock server? A mock server is a fake API that simulates a server response. So before you have your endpoint up and running, you can use a mock server hosted on the Postman cloud to return your desired responses. In this way, you can simulate a backend or server response. So what are mocks used for and who uses them? In the API design phase of the API development lifecycle, product managers and API designers will use mocks to specify the desired behavior for a new endpoint. Once specifications are finalized, front-end, back-end developers, and also testers will begin development and writing tests, so mocks can help to decouple dependencies during the development process. QA engineers will also use mocks to stub out dependencies on back-end or external services. In this way, they can simplify unit and even integration testing. So let's take a look at our workflow. We'll start off by setting up a mock server in Postman. We'll update the mock response, and then we'll see how to create multiple responses with mocks. All right, here we are in the Postman app. I'm going to go up to the top left corner and click on this orange new button. That's going to open up this modal, and I see that I can, more quickly and more easily create a request collection or environment, some of the basic building blocks in Postman. And here's also a kind of quick start so that we can get started with the more advanced features. I'm going to go ahead and click mock server. So there's two things that you need to create a mock server in Postman. The first is going to be a unique path name. So I'm going to go ahead and type in demo. And then the second thing you need is a response body. I'm going to go ahead and type in text here, example body, click next. And let's give our mock a name. You can go ahead and add an environment if you're using any kind of environment variables. In this case, we're just making one from scratch. The default is that a mock endpoint is going to be accessible publicly. But if I click this, I can make my mock server private so that somebody has to use the correct API key to access the mock response. I'm going to go ahead and leave it public there and hit create. And now Postman has created my mock endpoint for me. This is the endpoint. If I go ahead and click through, I see I'm back in the familiar view of Postman, and I've created a collection called demo. There's a single request in it called demo as well, and it's going to this endpoint, that mock endpoint that Postman created for me at /demo. Remember, this is the unique path name that we gave our endpoint. And if we go ahead and click send, we're making a request to that mock at /demo, and this is the string, this is the text that I saved to my example response, example body. Now if I want to go ahead and update this response, I go up in the top right corner here under examples, click that, and I'm going to select the default example, and maybe let's give it a name. So let's call it Happy Path, and Happy Path is available at /demo. I can update my headers, my body, I can update the response code. In this case, I just want to update the response body. So I'm going to change this to JSON and type in body is example body. So exactly the same thing, just slightly different format, and now hit save to save our updates. And I'm going to hit back. And now when I go back to that same mock endpoint that Postman created for me and hit the /demo route that I saved it under, previously I had example body string response. Now if I hit send, I have my JSON response here. So that's great. What if I want to add a second super useful response? So go back to examples, and I have my happy path here. Let's go ahead and add an example and call this one sad path. And in this case, the easiest way to retrieve a different type of response is to save it under a different path name. So previously we had /demo. I'm going to say /demo sad. And then I will also update the body so that it's example sad body. Okay, so not very obvious there, but I'll go ahead and hit save example and hit back. So previously we went to /demo and we got this JSON response. Now if we update our path name to, I think we called it demo sad, I'm gonna go ahead and send it, and you see this is our new our second example response that we saved. So I only updated the JSON, the response body, but I can also update, let's go ahead and click in there. So say I wanted to add sad path. Well, we don't want a 200 status code. How about like a 400 bad request? Okay, so we'll go ahead and save it. And again, you can update the headers, the body, the status code, and you can also save and retrieve your mock responses by updating the path name right here. Let's go ahead and hit back. Still hitting /demo sad. We'll go ahead and send it. And previously we had a 200 status code, and now we've changed it to a 400 status code. We still have that same body that we saved that first time. And that's how you create mocks in Postman. Let's go back to the slides. In summary, setting up a mock server requires two things. The first is a unique URL path. You can use this to save your example request and response and also retrieve your mock response. And the second is an example response body, and we saw how to update that in the Postman UI. You can also save examples to represent a variety of different responses. The best practice for retrieving a specific type of mock response is to use a unique path when you save your example response, and then use that unique path again when calling your mock URL.